tell his finance minister to name what a budget in Sisala or Malik. What language do you speak? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Well, that's what will be ruffled. I mean, he says that why do we try to do all those things? But somebody said that we want to paint it in our own way. Budget named from the African poor. Give everything to God or leave everything in the hands of God. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, visiting some of the oldies. This is from the Tego Sisters.
that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With Sendwave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, Sendwave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use Sendwave? Sendwave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about Sendwave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Yes, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 8 minutes past the top of the hour. Interestingly, I can't see Mr. Olayomi Koiki. I can't see him. I can only hear him. Yomi, can you do something about that? Thank you. Good. So he's going to be working on that for us. Let's see whether we can see him now. Yes, we can see him. We can see him out there in the glazing sunshine. As I said, make hay while the sunshine, because come the weekend, everything is gonna change. Everything is gonna change when it comes to the weather front. Come Sunday, it's gonna get quite cold. But let me take this opportunity to say a massive good morning to Mr. Olayomi Koiki. Yummy morning.
Well, it's a very good morning to you back in the studio. Good morning to Frank. Good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the globe. And welcome again to Starr Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Somebody will say this man is enjoying life. We'll see him standing in the full glaze of the sun and doing some sun bath there, you know.
Well, I mean, the beauty of it, let's make use of it while it's still shining, because, the weather doesn't tell you that, we'll be getting very colder. I mean, if you remember that just some few weeks ago, the whole of, Glasgow was completely on a lockdown with the COP26 that was discussing everything that's got to do with the climate change. A lot of people have talked about, the climate change, what the scientists make of the COP26 and what are the effect of it, in the global world, especially in Africa, where we saw, so many events that is happening, with the draft that is happening in different parts. And that is why we're having a lot of issues as well in terms of the migration from Niger, from Chad, from Sahel, as at the time that, this COP26. So let me just quickly say, the scientists and the leading climate experts have all voiced concern about the outcome of the COP26 climate conference that took place in Glasgow. Those who spoke to the correspondent praised the conference for getting countries to agree to meet again next year. Let's hope next year will be much better, and to pledge deeper emission cuts and the welcome arrangement on the forest, innovation, and especially methanol from fossil fuel extraction and livestock. These are the issues that are still also boiling in terms of the migration of a lot of people coming into Nigeria, because if you remember, there's a lot happening, and it's not just about the terrorists trying to, overthrow the government or whatever that we might think about it, but it's also about the climate change. People are looking for a comfort place to sit. So that's the reason why I've decided to come outside today and enjoy a bit of the sun while we continue with the update on Starr Radio UK. Back to all our viewers from Kenya, Nigeria, from South Africa this morning, as we're just about some few months before Christmas is the 10th of November 2021. I'll come back again to you in the studio.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, why not enjoy the sunshine there outside in North London, where we are bringing you updates from Nigeria. Okay, let's crack on now. Now, this report inquiry that took place in Lagos has caused has ruffled lots of feathers, because we have the US now seeming to say that, well, there's going to be an armed embargo over alleged protesters killing by soldiers and the police. I mean, virtually saying that. What has been the reaction of the Nigerian government, and how was this statement made as well?
Well, the situation that has now become a global conversation, especially the panel outcome of and this was our discussion throughout yesterday. For those that missed that edition, you might want to go back on Starr Radio UK Facebook page or YouTube or Twitter, where we want more people to retweet part of what we do, especially on Nigeria Voices and the morning show like this morning. So yesterday we reviewed part of that panel discussion, and again, Nigeria risk U.S. arms embargo over alleged protester killings. The government has not really fully responded to the panel, but there's a lot of conversation already going. Amid insecurity in Nigeria, the country now risks an arms embargo following the indictment of the Nigerian Army and the Nigerian Police Force by the Lagos State Judicial Panel of Inquiry on the restitution for victims of SARS-related abuses and other matters, which the state at least 9 persons were confirmed dead at Lekki Toll Plaza when the soldiers stormed the toll gate to disperse the #EndSARS protester last year. It's about 309 pages, but for those of you that might want to read through, I would prefer you start from 289 all the way to 309. Mr. Archie, I read through it. Even some of the DCP of that is like, when I mean the DCP, these are like, let's give an example. The police station close to where we are operating in the
like
studio,
the district commission,
and then saying that
and
then they're telling you that they are not aware of an atrocity happening at the Home Office building that is not far away from us, and there were just all kind of lies from the police to the military, and that is why the Americans are probably now thinking of arms embargo on Nigeria.
Well, interesting. Well, we'll see whether the government will react to that, because, like you're saying, the insecurity in the country needs the arms to be able to fight the insurgency and everything that is going on. So if there is an embargo, I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to say that the whole of Nigeria will suffer the consequences. But as whether government is going to sit down and say, because of the, ill behavior of some of the soldiers, and therefore they are going to lose all that, I don't think they will do so. So we hope to see what will happen. But when it comes to the recommendation in the report, what are some of them that you noted?
Well, some of the points I noted in that report, like I said, you might want to start from the 289 to 309. Mm-hmm. What I can say is, there was a lot of, atrocity that was trying to be hidden, from not realizing the true fact of what actually happened. Most of the, those witnesses that came out, gave enough evidence that indicate that it was not just the Nigerian military that came down to the Lekki toll gate. Also, after they left with bodies, the Nigerian police also came down there as well. The Nigerian police that were interviewed lied, to the panel that they were never there. One of the DCP was saying that it was actually in his office, and then he heard about the atrocity the next day on the social media. And you would try to wonder, if a crime is being committed very close to your doorstep, how come you have to hear that crime on the social media? That is something that it has to look into. There was also quite a lot of recommendation, but like you did talk about it, in this headline, the arms embargo that had earlier been placed on Nigeria, which prevented the country from effectively pursuing the war against terror, was during the administration of the former President Goodluck Jonathan. But this time around, the United States, the United Nations, and the United Kingdom have called on the Nigerian government. Panel's report is even as the military and the federal government await the release of the white paper.
Okay. We'll also be waiting the release of the white paper. Now that the information has been made public, what can government do about it? Because after all, everybody knows exactly what is in that report. So can government try to do some whitewash, wishy-washy, white paper and say that this is what we want everyone to do? Well, we don't know. But it's updates from Nigeria. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. Invite them to like our pages as well. Let's go back to Yomi for some of the other stories making the rounds. Over to you, Yomi.
Federal government, is planning to raise the power tariff next month, December, and it begins free meter purchase as well. When it comes to electricity in Nigeria, after 61 years, most part of Nigerians are still sleeping in darkness. I was in a Zoom meeting yesterday, and you could see that 6 out of those that join us from Nigeria, especially in the southwest from Ondo State to Ogun State and to also Oyo State, were all literally in darkness. And that is about almost 4 different states that join us in that Zoom meeting. And none of them have electricity to listen to that conversation of the Zoom meeting. And they were only have to use what we call tonosobe. Tonosobe is a kind of a smartphone that you switch on the light on it. And that tells you that millions of Nigerians are going to bed on a daily basis without full electricity. So what do we know? The power consumed nationwide may start to pay more for electricity following the plans by the federal government to carry out a review of the power tariff. This came as the federal government said on Wednesday yesterday it had commenced the procurement of more than 4 million meters meant to be distributed free of charge. I can tell you, when it says free of charge, be rest assured that is not free of charge. You will definitely have to pay something to somebody before you can actually get that meter as well. But what goes to the next headline? Buying transformer, poles, and orders are not responsibility of the electricity consumer. But in most part of Nigeria today, if anything happened to your transformer, be rest assured that your community will have to put money together, and then to be able to buy one, you will not be buying it. You will also be paying the money to the electricity company for them to purchase it on your behalf. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has declared that it is not the responsibility of electricity consumer and customers or communities to buy or replace or repair transformer, poles, cables, and related item used. This is just a whitewash, because definitely more Nigerians are still paying heavily for some of these poles and transformer, to be fixed in their community back home as well. Another very sad news.
Just on that one, a quick one on the electricity tariff and that recommendation that the Consumer Protection Unit has said that it's not a duty of the consumers to provide electric poles or transformers. But the issue is that if they want to sit and wait for the electricity company to come and fix that, it's going to be what? Ages. And therefore people are forced to do that. But when it happens that people do that, does the electricity company find a way and means to recompense them or pay them back?
Well, I mean, if you're donating, if you're putting money together with your community, you're not expecting to get any kind of reimbursement back, from these, electricity companies that are operating in Nigeria. I mean, it's just a normal thing. I mean, a lot of Nigerians understand this, but when it comes to this conversation like this, it's probably maybe just, to please somebody. But I cannot tell you, in where I live in Nigeria, most time that I've traveled back home, we've had issues with the transformer, and we have to put money together within that particular community to get a new one back to the community again.
How is the use of a solar panel? Let me digress a bit. Listeners, just bear with me, because I want to find out more about when it comes to electricity is happening in Nigeria. How is the use of solar panels there, and how easy or accessible is it to citizens?
Well, it's accessible if you have the money. They're quite expensive, as you can tell. I mean, if more people are getting used to, to use it, probably, just for the minor basic things that they are operating in the house in terms of the appliances as well. But the problem is, if the government have been able to have policies to support more Nigerians to be able to acquire this, solar panel, just as it's done in UK. Remember, in UK, you can also get paid if you are giving back again to the grid. These are the policies that have to be put in place, but the cost of manufacturing it is not in Nigeria. So that means it has to be imported into the country, and the cost of also, installing it is very, very expensive. More Nigerians are using it, but for those that have the means are the ones that will probably use it as well.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. A bit of information when it comes to usage of electricity or accessibility of electricity in Nigeria. Let's go back to Yomi for the other stories that you were bringing our way. Over to you, Yomi.
8 people were killed. 15 others have sustained varying degree of injury yesterday, and in 2 different crashes in Ogun State in the southwest of the country. An early morning accident on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway reportedly claimed the lives of 5 people who were burned to death. Let me give you, this Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. This has been a construction that has been going on for the last almost 20 years. And as we speak right now, it has not yet been completed. And that means, there will be all kind of manner of disruption on that road. And if you're not very careful, you are likely to have one kind of accident, whether of your own fault or not, because the road itself is not durable. This is a particular road that I was able to drive through most of the time that we were in Nigeria during our 6 months there. And I can tell you, it is quite appalling that the Nigerian Ministry of Works that should have rectified and fixed this road continue to abandon it. Yes, there's work going on, but it doesn't seem there's work going on, and that's probably why there's more accident. So 5 people were killed when the accident, which involved, again, a petrol tanker landing with a premium motor spirit known as petrol, and a truck occurred around Tunji Alege filling station in the area of Ogere, and the truck. According to what we know, 5 vehicles that were parked along the road were also consumed by the infamous. Another accident occurred few hours later at the Sand Crate area of Bumaki on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway again, leaving 3 people dead and 15 others injured. According to the public education officer, Federal Road Safety Corps in Ogun State, Florence Okweke confirmed the accident. So we can only pray for the souls of those that have been killed as well. Let's go straight to the next other headline. NUT direct teachers not to shun Kaduna plan test. The National Executive Council of the Nigerian Union of Teachers has directed its members in Kaduna State not to participate in the competence test being organized by the state government. The Deputy National President of the Union, Mr. Calvin, gave the directive in Kaduna on Wednesday during a meeting with teachers in the state. So according to Mr. Calvin, explained that the union issued the directive following plans by the Kaduna state government to conduct a competent test for public primary school teachers in December. I'm not sure why they are running away from those tests, because if they're competent in the first place, you should be able to take a test so that we know whether you can still be part of the teaching in that particular state or not. Kaduna State Universal Basic Education Board in July has announced plans to conduct a competent test for primary school teachers to ensure quality teaching as well. So let's go straight to some of the other headlines. Once again, it is still Starr Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Kinship tussle, as we know, Governor Wike recognized Elikwe as Eze Ekpara in Rabise. That is coming from the headline as well. And also, the GDP slows to about 4% in the Q3. We know that a lot of Nigerians are facing difficulties, especially with the inflation of food prices. The insecurity is having a major problem when it comes to food distribution and food growing in Nigeria. So what do we know? Nigeria's gross domestic product has now slowed down to about 4% in the third quarter of this year, compared to about 5% in the preceding quarter, according to the National Bureau of Statistics today. The GDP measures the country's economic performance from time to time. Statistician General Chief Executive National Bureau of Statistics, Dr. Simon Ari, at a media briefing said a negative impact of COVID-19 pandemic has also continued to have impact on the performance of the economy. So a lot of Nigerians are facing hardship. Just today alone, I've got about almost 30 Nigerians that are coming to us to say, we have, in need of 3,000 naira because their mother is in the hospital. One of the son has been injured with the hot water. And you will wonder why, a country that is blessed with so much natural resources, but yet some of these is not going to the basic people at the bottom of the country as well. Let's go to what the Sultan of Sokoto is saying this morning. According to the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Sahid Abubakar has urged President Muhammadu Buhari to ensure that the federal government honor the agreement it reached with the Academic Staff Union of University known as ASUU so as to prevent another strike. We know that there was a strike in the previous year that led to almost 1 year of some of the students to stay at home, and some of them were probably pregnant before they were returning back to school because it becomes more nothing to do in the house. Buhari, who is a visitor to the university, was represented at the ceremony by the Deputy Executive Secretary Administration, the National University Commission, Chris Mayaki, speaking. The Sultan, I would like to request the visitor to please look into the request by